The question came during the evening class, not from a young man, from a boy, 15, maybe 16. His voice cracked slightly when he spoke, the way voices do at that age. He stood among 300 students in the Foshan training hall, candlelight making shadows dance on the wooden walls. Sifu, the factory foreman, he is very big. He pushes the smaller workers. How do I stop him? Ip Man's hands paused on the wooden dummy. He had been demonstrating chain punches, the rhythm of wood on wood filling the hall like a heartbeat. He turned slowly. His face showed nothing. Not surprise, not concern, just attention. The hall went quiet in sections. Those near the boy stopped first, then those who saw Ip Man's expression, then everyone else, the silence spreading like spilled ink on rice paper. Ip Man looked at the boy, thin shoulders, hands that had seen labor, but not yet growth. The kind of frame that gets pushed aside, ignored, used. The kind of frame that learns to stay quiet. Come forward, Ip Man said. The boy walked through the crowd. His steps were careful, apologetic, as if taking up space was something he needed permission for. When he reached the front, he bowed, deep and proper. Ip Man returned it with exact precision. Ip Man studied him for a moment. Then he looked out at the crowd. Who here works at the factory? He asked. A dozen hands went up, men with calloused palms and tired eyes. Men who knew exactly which foreman the boy meant. You, Ip Man said, pointing to one of them. How big is this foreman? The man stepped forward. He was not small himself. Solid, work-hardened. But when he spoke, there was something else in his voice. Memory of pain, maybe, or fear. Very big, Sifu. Taller than me by a head. Arms like timber. He was a dock worker before. He lifts things most men cannot move. Ip Man nodded. He turned to the crowd again. Who here is built like this foreman? Another man raised his hand. He stood near the back. When he came forward, people moved aside to let him pass. Not from respect, from necessity. He was enormous. 6'4" in a time when that was giant. Shoulders that belonged on two men. His hands, when he held them up, could palm a man's skull. You know Wing Chun? Ip Man asked him. 3 years, Sifu, but I am slow. I know this. You are not slow, Ip Man said. You are exactly what you should be. Stand here. Ip Man positioned him in the center. Then he gestured to the boy. Stand in front of him. The boy moved. He had to look up to see the big man's face. The difference between them was not just size. It was category. A child and an adult. A sparrow and an ox. Ip Man stood to the side where everyone could see. The foreman pushes you, he said to the boy. Show me how. The boy demonstrated. He mimed being shoved backward, stumbling, trying to keep his balance. His body knew the motion, had learned it through repetition. And you want to push back, Ip Man said. Not a question. Yes, Sifu, but I cannot. He is too strong. Correct, Ip Man said. You cannot. He let that sit for a moment. Let the boy feel the weight of impossibility. So do not try. Ip Man moved to where the boy stood. He took the same position, small, vulnerable, facing the giant. Push me, Ip Man said to the big man, as the foreman would push, with intent. The big man hesitated. Everyone knew Ip Man's age. 56, not old but not young, thin, refined. The kind of frame that looked like it belonged behind a desk, not in a fight. Push, Ip Man said again, quietly. I am ready. The big man pushed. Not his full strength, but real pressure. His hand came forward, palm open, aiming for Ip Man's shoulder. Ip Man moved. Not backward, not to the side. He stepped in, into the push. His arm rose, not to block, but to redirect. His hand touched the big man's elbow, not hard, just contact. His other hand appeared at the big man's shoulder, and his foot, almost invisible, hooked behind the big man's ankle. The big man fell, forward, past where Ip Man had been standing. He caught himself with his hands, controlled, but he was on the ground, face down, confused. 4 seconds, maybe 5. The hall held 300 breaths. Ip Man offered his hand. The big man took it, stood. His face showed the mathematics of what had just happened, trying to solve an equation that didn't make sense. Ip Man turned to the boy. He pushed with his strength, Ip Man said. I borrowed his direction. He wanted me to go backward. I went forward. He expected resistance. I gave him emptiness. He found nothing to push against, only air, and air cannot be moved. The boy's eyes were wide, focused. Show me again, Sifu. Slowly. Ip Man nodded. He reset the position. This time he moved at half speed. Quarter speed. He showed where his hand went, why it went there, how the touch to the elbow changed the man's balance before he knew balance was in question, how the step forward stole the space the push needed to work, how the hook behind the ankle was not a sweep but an invitation the body accepted on its own. Wing Chun does not meet force with force, Ip Man said. His voice was barely above a whisper, but in the silence everyone heard perfectly. We are not strong. We do not try to be. We are structure. We are position. We are timing. He demonstrated again with the big man. Different angle, same principle. The big man pushed. Ip Man seemed to barely move. The big man was on the ground. Your foreman is strong because he has always been strong, Ip Man said to the boy. He has never needed to be smart, never needed to be precise. He pushes and things move. This is all he knows. Ip Man walked slowly as he spoke. But you have no strength to rely on, so you must learn what he has never learned. You must see what he does not see. The space before the push, the moment of commitment, the instant when his power leaves his center and cannot return. He stopped in front of the boy. I cannot make you bigger. I cannot make you stronger, but I can show you this. In the moment he pushes, he gives you everything. His balance, his direction, his intention, all of it yours. If you know how to receive it. Ip Man called the boy forward, positioned him, put the big man's hand on his shoulder. When he pushes, do not think about pushing back. Think about turning, just turning, your waist, your hips, like this. He guided the boy's body through the motion. Not fast, not hard, just rotation. The push came. The boy turned. The big man's hand slid off, found nothing. His own momentum carried him forward half a step. Again, Ip Man said. They did it 10 times, 20. Each time the boy understood more. Each time the big man had less effect. By the 30th time, the boy was smiling. Small, private, the smile of someone discovering they are not as helpless as they believed. Ip Man stepped back. Size is an advantage, he said to the room, but only against those who respect it. The moment you stop respecting size, stop fearing it, stop trying to match it. That moment, it becomes neutral, just information, just another thing to work with. He looked at the factory workers standing in the crowd. This foreman, he pushes because pushing has always worked. No one has shown him it can fail, so he believes it cannot. This belief makes him careless, makes him obvious, makes him yours. Ip Man turned back to the boy. Tomorrow when he pushes you, you will turn. Not to fight him, just to move. He will miss. He will be confused. He may try again, harder. You will turn again, softer. And he will begin to understand that something has changed, that you are no longer afraid. And when someone is no longer afraid, they are no longer a victim. The boy bowed. This time his back was straight, his head high. Practice the turning, Ip Man said. Every day, not against a person, against air. Turn until your body remembers, until it happens without thought. Then when he pushes, your body will answer before your mind knows there was a question. The boy returned to his place in the crowd. His shoulders were different, less apologetic, less small. Ip Man went back to the wooden dummy. He resumed the chain punches. The rhythm filled the hall again. But everyone was listening differently now. The sound was not just sound anymore. It was possibility. It was proof that size was not destiny. The big man stood in his spot. He was watching Ip Man's hands on the dummy, studying, learning, understanding that his size had made him lazy, that there were things smaller men knew that he needed to learn. Near the back, the boy practiced the turning, subtle, private, his hips rotating while his feet stayed still. testing the motion, feeling where the power lived. The candlelight flickered. The hall smelled of wood and sweat and incense. 300 people trained in the movements of Wing Chun, but they were thinking about one movement, the turn, the redirect, the moment when strength met emptiness and fell into nothing. Ip Man did not look up from the dummy. He did not need to. He could hear it in the room. The shift, the understanding spreading like dawn, the realization that power was not about force. It was about knowing, about seeing, about being present when the moment arrived. The boy would face his foreman tomorrow. Maybe he would succeed. Maybe he would fail. Maybe he would need more practice, more time. But something had changed. He had seen a man smaller than him move a man twice his size, had felt in his own body how it worked, had learned that fear was optional, and that knowing, Ip Man understood, was the beginning of everything.